Ty Garbin's name is mentioned more than 40 times in the federal criminal complaint, accusing him and 5 others of a violent plot to kidnap Michigan's governor.
I want to be clear, I speak for Ty Garbin and only Ty Garbin, but my client is not a crackpot. My client is not a knucklehead. He is a good kid. He had a good job as an airline mechanic at the airport.
Garbin's attorney, Mark Satawa, is sitting down for an interview for the first time since the early October FBI raids that ended in Garbin's arrest along with 12 others.
Is Ty Garbin a domestic terrorist?
No.
100%.
Again, when the evidence comes out in the courtroom, you're going to see a much different Ty Garbin than the picture that was painted in court last week.
The picture the federal investigators have painted is terrifying. A bunch of guns and field trainings for a plan that involved targeting police, kidnapping Michigan's governor, and overthrowing the government.
To some extent, there's just so much silliness even in the idea that 5 or 6 guys with AR-15s could storm the Capitol and overthrow the government.
Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols, just 2 people, but they did a hell of a lot of damage. It is serious, because you might not take the government over, but you can certainly kill a lot of people, hurt a lot of people. How do you respond to that?
They had a bomb that was able to knock down a federal building in Oklahoma City. My client had a smoke bomb in a balloon set off on his property that he quickly disavowed, took away, and said, we're not doing this anymore to the people that were doing it. You're not talking about apples and oranges. You're talking about comparing a fly to an elephant.
This is Garbin's property. Deep in the woods around Luther, Michigan, you can see one of the areas that was the alleged tactical training ground of some of these suspects. You see silhouettes of humans with dozens of bullet holes in them, and you can still see dozens of bullet casings left behind. Residents say hunting is normal around here, but the explosion they heard in the weeks before the October raid was not. How big was the explosion? Did it rattle anything?
Oh, it was huge. It was big.
What do you need explosives for?
I mean, there were dozens of people, and this was in many ways a camp out. I mean, there was bonfires and cookouts and barbecues.
But the FBI says afterwards, Garbin and the group traveled from his property to do surveillance on the governor's vacation home.
So they said, look, he did say, I don't want to go after the Capitol, but then he suggested shooting up the governor's vacation home. I mean, how do you explain that?
What evidence I have right now is limited. It's important to know the rest of that story. If my client affirmatively disavowed the object of the conspiracy at some point, and that's on the tapes, what you just said will be seen in a completely different light.
Satawa has been here before and won against the federal government. In 2010, 9 people in a so-called Christian warrior militia called Hutari were accused of conspiring to kill a Michigan police officer and then ambush police at the funeral.
The government lost, and they lost big time. They were just flat out wrong.
There was an informant, undercover FBI, and video in that case too. But a judge acquitted his client and 6 others of all the charges, including seditious conspiracy. He says he's hoping this time around his client won't even be indicted.
He believes in the system, that the system is going to work for him, that the truth is going to come out.
Sarah Seidner, CNN, Southfield, Michigan.